down, 4 to go. Oh fuck, it's you again? Wait, you're different. Again? Dude, you didn't make a video in March. No, I was working on my videos. I'll have this video out in the middle of March. It's April. Wait, what do you mean it's April? Look, you need to go. He's going to find us. Yeah, I still want to do this video, though. You know what? How about you take over for me, and you pretend to be me, and I'll go work on my Witcher video. Sound good? Alright. Yeah, they're making an iCarly reboot. Why don't you talk about that? Wait, they're rebooting iCarly? Yeah. Alright, I gotta go. Alright. We look nothing alike. How do you think this is gonna trick anybody? I need a disguise, hold on. I mean, we're not fooling anybody, but sure, why not?
So, because it's the year of our Lord 2021 and nothing is sacred anymore, the children's television sitcom iCarly is getting a reboot on the streaming service Paramount Plus. If you don't know what iCarly is, what? But seriously, if you don't know what iCarly is, it's a children's sitcom made by Dan Gettin' the Van Schneider that was on Nickelodeon from 2007 to 2012. The show is about teenager Carly Shay, who has her own webcast, which she calls, wait for it, iCarly. For having come out in 2007, the show actually managed to get a lot right about what internet culture would come to be. And while it wasn't Kino by any stretch of the imagination, the show got itself a finale in 2012, and everybody thought that was it. But as I mentioned earlier, iCarly's getting rebooted for the now 20 to 30 year olds who watched the show when it was on television. Seeing as I'm almost in that age range, I think that I could guess the plot to an entire season of iCarly. After all, I did just watch the first 3 seasons of iCarly that were put on Netflix. So this is my challenge to the iCarly Reboot writers. If I guess even one of your episodes right, you include me as an executive producer on the episode. So I made a set of guidelines using the information that's been drip-fed to us about this reboot. The guidelines are as follows. Number 1, Sam is in prison and will not be coming back for the show. Jeanette McCurdy said she's embarrassed by her role in iCarly, and can you blame her? All Sam did was go, I'm mean and I like fried chicken. She started playing the role when she was like 14. Imagine going through high school and that's all people see you doing on TV. That's embarrassing. So, I don't blame her for quitting. So, Carly got a new best friend in this reboot. Her name is Harper, and I'm going to say that she is bisexual. I say this because they made an announcement that one of the new characters will be LGBT, and I don't think it's going to be the child. Speaking of the child, I'm not talking about Baby Yoda from everybody's favorite Disney Star Wars franchise, The Mandalorian. I'm talking about Freddy's new stepdaughter. Yeah, Freddy has a stepdaughter, and her description is that she is savvy and social media fluent. I'm going to say that Freddy still lives with his mom after his wife died, because they didn't actually cast Freddy's wife, and I can't see why Freddy would have his stepdaughter if there was a potential divorce. So let's say there was like a horrific accident and she died. But let's make it like funny and lighthearted so we're not having Freddy be like, my wife died. Let's steal from an episode of iCarly, and let's say that Freddy's wife got ran over by a taco truck. Or she might not be dead, but she might run away, and they might be saving that for a later season, so Freddy can be like, but you left me, why have you come back now? And so that's that. Freddy lives with his mom in the same apartment building, and Carly and Harper are also going to live in the apartment building, but they're not going to live with Spencer. Those are my guidelines. I ranked each of these on a scale of 1 to 3 gibbies on how plausible it is that it actually makes it into a highly produced television series, with 1 gibby being, oh my god, I wrote this at 4 a.m., why did I even include this on the list? 2 being, yeah, with some potential, it could be on a sticky note on like a writer's room board. And 3 gibbies being, I'm certain this is going to make it in, y'all are dumb, I guessed it right, I have the big brain here, so bye-bye. Oh yeah, before we get much further, I'm gonna go with this series has like a core idea of struggling in an ever-changing social media landscape. So that's our theme for the whole season. I don't really draw on it much on every episode, but you only need to do some of them for it to be an overarching thing, blah, 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 whatever. So let's get into our first episode. So episode 1 is going to be called I Return, and it's going to be about Freddy and his stepdaughter Millicent moving into his mom's apartment. Freddy hasn't seen Carly much since, he got married. But now he's seeing Carly again, and he's gonna be like, wow, you look great. And Carly's gonna be like, so do you. And there's gonna be like, is there something between them? I don't know. Let's find out where the rest of the season goes. Hee hee hee. Freddie meets Harper for the first time, and they're going to start being friends because Freddie needs more friends who don't constantly harass him. So one night after some drinks, Freddie's gonna go, hey, why don't we start iCarly again? Haha, be like old times. And Carly be like, oh, we can't do that. We don't have Sam here. You know she's in jail for hitting that policeman with a butter sock, and that's it. Sam is gone forever. Never to be mentioned again. Freddie goes, well, Harper, why don't you do it? It's not that hard. And Harper goes, what? You really think I could do it? And Freddie goes, yes. So they go up, all three still slightly impaired, and they start doing iCarly. They don't get a lot of viewers. Carly goes, why don't we have a lot of viewers? Because we've been off of social media for the last 9 years. And Carly goes, has it really been that long? Have people forgotten about us? And Millicent comes up and she goes, yes. Because she's snarky and social media savvy. What ends up happening is Millicent records a funny bit from iCarly and posts it onto TikTok, where it goes viral, and iCarly finally starts getting viewers again. The episode ends. If I haven't mentioned, I'm not going to be focusing on B-plots because it was already hard enough to come up with 13 A-plots, and B-plots can be pretty much anything, so like, I'm not really too concerned. Episode 2, I have called I Get Schooled. Freddie remembers, oh shit, I actually have to send my stepdaughter to school, so he enrolls her in whatever school he went to in the show. This gives them an excuse to bring back the teachers and stuff, and then Freddie can get made fun of, be like, oh, you're still a loser, Benson, by the guy who eats pants. And he goes, who wrote this lie? Who wrote this lie on the board? And so Freddie can get made fun of by him. They can bring Miss Briggs back. They can bring the principals back. They can do all that while Freddie gets his new stepdaughter enrolled in school. This is also where they're going to introduce Freddie's stepdaughter's friends, because she needs friends. That's the episode. I don't really have a lot for this one. I just know they're going to do it. This one I give 2 gibbies, because I know they're going to go back to the school at some point. They have to. So many of the iconic characters were from the school, and so let's just move on to the next one because I'm running out of ideas. Episode 3 would be called I Need You to Go Away. This episode would be focusing on stans because that's a part of our ever-changing social media landscape. Wow, thematic relevancy. Mandy, yeah, you remember her? She was in like 2 episodes of iCarly. She was the original stan after Stan by Eminem. It's complicated. Don't worry about it. So she's back, and she knows the group's address, and she has posted it on an iCarly forum that's been going since 2007. So you know it's real iCarly stans only. They start showing up outside of their apartment building. So to get them to go away, Carly, Harper, Freddie, Millicent, and Spencer all pretend to move out of state. They pack up their apartments in boxes and shove them in like a spare room or something, and then they let Lubert let them in or something, whatever. So when they see it's empty, they give Mandy a bus ticket, like a one-way bus ticket to Oregon, and they say, this is where we moved and this is our new studio, and they give her the address of like a Domino's pizza. They send her on a bus to Oregon and we forget about her. That also ticks off another one of my things, which is they're trying to get like guest stars to come back. Not guest stars, recurring characters. iCarly really only has like a couple recurring characters. So there was Mandy, there were the teachers, there was Gibby, there was Chuck. Like that was it. Like it was mostly just the core characters. They're gonna try to bring them back and be like, hey, remember them? This is them now. I give that one a 2 gibbies, mostly because stans, you know, guest star coming back. It's possible. Episode 4, I'm gonna call I Want My Viewers Back, and I don't think it's a good idea. Millicent and her friends are going to go, hey, why don't we start our own web show and post it on TikTok or YouTube or whatever? And they're going to do that, and it's going to pull way more views than iCarly does, because the fact that they're doing it on their own website is kind of like an outdated concept. So maybe this is the episode where they move iCarly to like Twitch or something, but they're not gonna call it Twitch, they're gonna call it like Spasm. You know, Twitch, Spasm. Yeah. Carly's gonna get jealous that Millicent and her friends are doing their idea better than them. I give this one like a 1 because I don't think it's a good idea. So let's move on to the next idea because I hate this one. Episode 5 is my first 3 out of 3. I think I've got this one. So, as I mentioned earlier, Chuck is one of the recurring iCarly characters, and he is primarily Spencer's antagonist. We already know that he's coming back for the reboot, I think, based on his social media posts. I don't know. He posts weird shit on social media. I don't know. My episode idea goes like this. It's going to be called I Pull an All-Nighter, and it's also going to function as our bottle episode. If you don't know, a bottle episode is where a sitcom saves money by using all of the actors or only a certain number of actors on one set. For example, think like Breaking Bad, The Fly, or even in the original iCarly, the episode where there's a heat wave and they're all stuck in the apartment with the air conditioner. Spencer has a gallery opening tomorrow and he has all of the sculptures still at his apartment. Chuck is going to break into this apartment, mad at Spencer for being the reason he had to join military school and later join the military, and Chuck is going to break every single one of these sculptures. Spencer is going to realize this and going, oh no, I have to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. He's gonna realize this at like 8 p.m. Spencer's gonna go, Carly, Harper, I need help. Freddie, Millicent, Mrs. Benson, I need help. And they're gonna stay up all night building sculptures, and hijinks are going to ensue because they're going to get very tired. Anyways, Chuck gets arrested and he's never seen for the rest of the season. Episode 6 is called I Have a Thing for Gibby. I give this one 2 Gibbies, mostly because I don't know if Noah Monk is going to come back for the reboot. So this is going to operate with the assumption that Gibby does come back, and Gibby's hot now. Carly's going to be like, ooh, I want a piece of that man. And Harper's going to be like, me too. And Freddie's gonna be like, but Carly, I thought we were going to be a thing. And Carly's gonna go, shut up, Freddie. Carly and Harper are gonna get in a fight over a boy. And eventually, Gibby's gonna be like, well, yeah, I was just coming to see Guppy's graduation. I want this one to feel like a Riverdale episode where there's like fake tension and like fake drama. Episode 7 will be called I Rebel, and it's going to be about Freddie, Millicent, and Mrs. Benson. Millicent, starting to go into puberty, is getting into her rebel phase, and she hits Freddie with the, you're not my real dad. And that's going to be our jumping off point for this episode. Freddie goes to his mom and he's like, well, how did you raise me when I was being a bratty teenager? And she goes, I embarrassed you. So Freddie tries to embarrass Millicent at school, and it goes horribly. Freddie gets beat up by his own stepdaughter in the hallways, and so Freddie goes through parenting school with his mom, and eventually Freddie and Millicent get into a full-on screaming match in the middle of their apartment where they both start crying. They come to realize that this is their situation now, and they're both going to have to get along with each other. They make up, and that's the episode. Episode 8 is called I Draw the Line. Carly and Harper are going to get into an argument because Carly thinks that Harper's leaving the apartment a mess, while Harper thinks the exact same thing about Carly. In actuality, Spencer has been leaving things in the apartment when he comes to visit and forgetting about them. Carly and Harper literally draw a line through the apartment, and they get mad at each other and they make everybody pick sides. Spencer goes to Carly's side, Freddie goes to Harper's side, Millicent goes to Harper's side. I guess Mrs. Benson can go to Carly's side, I don't know. So eventually, Spencer does reveal, oh hey, that's my can of soup, let's say. I was eating this last week, I must not have thrown the can away. And then he goes around and he realizes that the entire mess is all his stuff. That's the episode. Episode 9 in my script is written in as I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's going to be the Harper-focused episode. I'm almost certain there's going to be at least one episode where Harper's like the main character, but we don't know anything about her, so that leaves too much wiggle room for potentially coming up with a story idea. Moving on. Episode 10 is going to be called I Take a Vacation. It's the beach episode, and they're going to get recognized on the beach and not left alone. I'm running out of ideas. This is more of a B-plot. These last 3 are probably my 3 best ideas. So these are all 3 Gibbies out of 3. Maybe even 4 Gibbies out of 3. Episode 11 is called I Get Canceled. Carly wakes up one day to find that her Twitter inbox is full of K-pop stans. And so Carly's gonna be like, what the heck did I do to deserve this? And as she says that, there's gonna be like an egg thrown at her window. Carly's gonna be like, I would never tweet something like Blackpink is better than slime. Do those words make sense in a sentence? I don't know. Eventually, the big twist, wait for it, is gonna be Neville. It was Neville. Neville hacked Carly's Twitter account and he posted that. So Carly got canceled, but it wasn't her fault. So Neville gets canceled? I don't know. This is our 2-part finale. Part 1 is going to be called I Hear Wedding Bells. Mrs. Benson is going to be getting married to Tebow. I don't think this makes sense in the lore, but I'm going with it because honestly, I love this idea. The iCarly gang is all part of the wedding party, blah, blah, blah. That stuff doesn't matter. So we get to the part of where the wedding official goes. Anybody with any objections, speak now or forever hold your peace. Lubert is gonna charge in. He's gonna wait, and they're gonna be like, Lubert, you have to go away. He's gonna be like, but I love you, Freddie's mom. And she's gonna be like, but I love Tebow. Then they're gonna get married, and everybody's gonna get drunk. After a certain amount of drinks, it's going to cut to Carly waking up in bed next to Freddie. She screams, he screams, cut to black. Part 2, Eye Blackout. Carly and Freddie wake up next to each other, naked, and they have no idea what happened. Carly tries to call Spencer, but he's out with Sacco and can't talk. Carly then tries to call Harper, but Harper is out with Millicent and also cannot talk. So the two have a long talk about their feelings, and they decide that they should try to be together as a couple. And you know, there's gonna be like bits of flirting throughout the whole season that I definitely didn't just make up now. And then this is gonna be the culmination episode where they're gonna kiss, and Freddie's mom's gonna walk in and she's gonna be like, I knew you two would get together. And that's the season of iCarly. Honestly, I think my season would be okay. I think it would be rather all over the place, but I do think it would be better than some Netflix original shows and even some shows on the CW. That's pretty much what I've done here. I've pretty much made a CW show. So what would you change? What is your fake iCarly season looking like? Are you going to watch iCarly on Paramount Plus when it comes out? I'm not. Anyways, that's all I had for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for being patient. Last month was just bad. I had school, mental health kicked my ass, but I'm back now. Couple weeks we're gonna have an Attack on Titan video because that is coming to an end and it's going to be great. So thank you for watching, and fuck.